the grip of Adam LZ right now as the American goes for it. Shallow pocket.
Day one here at Driftmasters. It's Friday, which means it's practice, qualifying for a competition tomorrow. Boys got here bright and early, and I'm number one in line. So we'll be doing the first lead lap on the brand new track, and we'll be doing a chase back to back with that. And yeah, hope the car is good. We made a lot of changes, a lot from what we learned on the US car, and hopefully translates. First lap, we're actually going up against Matt Field. He's driving a brand new car. It's a brand new Toyota Supra, like fresh build, pretty sick, built in Switzerland. Should be a pretty nasty car. I know that Matt knows how to drive, so I'm stoked to have my first lap with him. All right, guys, first lap. It's funny how when you're in the stadium, it doesn't feel that big. It feels like a small track. The car definitely feels way different than the US car. Got to get used to it. A lot of different stuff going on with it. Freddie, I'm pretty sure my car's breaking up really bad up top. Like, it sounds like it's misfiring really bad. Nitrous is off. I had a pretty bad hit on the rear right. It's very, very, very loose in terms of side. We'll talk about it when I'm back. Yeah, I still have the issue. It's like a false limiter. I don't know if you guys could hear it on those 2 laps, but the team found that the porcelain on the spark plug was actually cracked. So what's happening was, once I was up in the higher RPM, it was like I had a coil pack issue, so the car was hitting a false limiter at like 6,200 RPM. We got it fixed now, and we're gonna go back out and get hopefully another lap or 2. That felt okay. It's really, really hard to see the square on the infield that I'm supposed to hit with my rear wheel. So I feel like I was maybe a little deep there, but like I couldn't see it at all.
Another issue we had in the last session was with our nitrous. So before I went out, I turned the car on, it went ring, which is a telltale sign that nitrous was leaking in the motor, which is not good. So Freddie had me turn it off just to play it safe. This solenoid over here probably has a small leak. The car is okay without nitrous. The biggest thing is I've learned to rely on it pretty heavily, where if I don't clutch dump the car off rev limiter right now, it won't have the power to get to wheel speed as quick as I want. So nitrous just helps wake the turbo up. It's a small shot, it's like a 100 shot, but it brings the power in like 1500 RPM sooner, especially when you don't have load and you're coming off of a free rev scenario.
We need to start putting leashes on these trunks.
Yeah, we're getting ghetto already, Mike.
Oh yeah, work on dial.
All right, and now for the next session of practice, we'll likely only get one lap, but we're gonna shoot for 2. I think we got enough fuel and enough tire to do double the lap, so we'll give it a shot, but didn't really make any changes to the car. I think we got nitrous working now, and then I'm just gonna work on my line. Track's got about 5% more grip, as seen by Ginger's data. I'll put an overlay on the screen right here, if Mike remembers. So he's been real forgetful today, like how he forgot his alarm clock.
Again.
He was committed. He was ready to scooter the whole way here, but we saw him on the side of the road, so we picked him up.
Czego wy chłopą musicie, no?
Nagrywam, później będzie kurwa na filmie, a to Polacy oglądają, kurwa. Wstyd dla Polski, wstyd!
Okay, we haven't done the old school qualifying in a long time. I lied because we do it in World Tour, so I guess that's not a great thing to say. But the theory is, go do the same thing I've been doing in practice, don't push it or get greedy, see what score that gets me, and then I can push it on the second run, try to get a high score. Hi Grant.
Hi Adam.
thing, another same run to do. Same run we've been doing. Got some fun. 1, 2, Pokeroo. Car sounded like it might have been misfiring a little bit. I'm not sure, but it felt like a good run. What do you think, Ginge? I'm really happy with the flick on entry. I went a little slower and kind of was a little riskier than I would have liked to, but I felt like it worked out.
And we pack out the stadium for a sold-out house. We go back on the line to a man from the United States who did a full season of Driftmasters in 2024. Is the one and only Adam LZ, 2JZ BMW 36 900 horsepower from Orlando in Florida. Comes off the line. This man third on the podium here last year. What can he do this weekend as LZ puts the back end of that BMW into the outside zone? Very comfortable here at Driftmasters. Tickles the front bumper along the walls. Now LZ sets himself up beautiful in this long outside zone, smushes the back bumper, takes the back end and the boot lid and the whole shebang out the back of it as he now fires himself in to outside zone 6, collects the throttle once again as LZ sets himself up for outside zone 7, back end into the wall and across the line.
Yeah, no doubt on this one. I mean, all the way through, very comfortable back in this car. And to me, one of the coolest parts of this is the correction that he makes on the inside clip at the wall and actually pushes a little bit harder through. We'll get to it here in the replay because it's such a crazy move to pull because you're already facing the wall and then he kind of decides to drive into it to really push that proximity even further. As we can see how many phones are out for this run. A very iconic moment. I mean, this is it. This is the spot right here. Look at pulls it in even more to try and get close to that wall. So that's a tough correction to make in a very risky spot, but manages to do it well. Maybe not perfect, but definitely really, really well. So that is a fairly big jump.
There we go. Score drops in an 89.5 for Adam LZ on that first qualifying run.
Jeżeli chodzi o przejazd Adama LZ.
A little beaten up now, huh?
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
If it wasn't for like this contraption of carbon that holds them together,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be here.
I'm super happy. I thought it was going to be a little bit higher score-wise, but I think at 89 will definitely get us into the show.
Yeah.
Probably be like mid to bottom pack, which is hilarious. It's just how good all these drivers are. I did exactly what I wanted to do. I hit all my marks. I think the biggest rooms for improvement would be a little bit less wall action. They're deducting pretty heavily if you get into the wall, and I definitely rubbed it a couple times.
Yeah.
And I think I can get a little bit more aggressive on transitions. It's one of those things though where like it's high risk, low reward, where like I did exactly what I needed to make sure we qualified, and now we can go have fun in the second run. We're watching back GoPro video to kind of like see what's going on in some of the logs, just because I'm not full throttle in this car as much as I am in the other one. One thing looking at other runs and talking with Ginge, my brain keeps on going for like those boxes to go in the center of the box when they actually want us in the edge of that box. So like right there, that's 3 points that I lost, which is like a very easy thing to fix.
Yeah.
And then I think the rest is probably from like going into the wall, probably cost us like style and angle. But we're like, this is more of a like, ooh, maybe we can put more car in it. Yeah. That's always fun.
Kurwa, my hand, kurwa, jest broken. Majto!
We're going out for our second qualifying lap. Upon review, the only thing that we need to do differently is hit that infield zone a little bit better. Everything else we're going to keep the same. That should gain us a couple more points. Oh, we're going to keep it off the wall too. That'll get us a couple more points back. All right, guys, time to have some fun. big mistake that'll probably cost us some points. My line was just way different than I'm used to running Ginge. I feel like that was a pretty big mistake, so I'd be surprised if that scored higher than the last run.
They would know where he needs to be as he slams in to gear this 3.4. 2JZ BMW E36 comes off the line as Adam LZ through the gears, flicks that car to angle, nice initiation, straight down on towards the wall as he knows he maybe went a little bit too hard onto the wall in that first qualifying run. Now starts to put things together as he absolutely nails inside zone 3 and outside zone 4 as Adam LZ works his way around this long outside zone, back on the throttle, stays into it as he gets outside zone 5 collected, looks across the circuit, oh, and he goes too deep into outside zone 6, but he makes it work. He holds on as Adam LZ collects outside zone 7 and job done.
I mean, we got the exciting run, that's for sure. I'm going a little bit too hard one more time. You know, another driver that hasn't driven this exact car. Now, obviously, in a BMW quite often, this to me is the best chassis for the way he drives, for the setup and everything else. But sitting in 25th, not a great spot with a lot of drivers who are very, very good that could move up past you. So got a little bit of room to breathe, but not too much for Adam LZ.
In the chase position, you would dive onto the door. And there we go. He isn't rewarded. It's an 88.5 for Adam LZ, and judges not liking that contact with the wall. Look, what I'm saying is, if you're trying to chase that, LZ hits the wall, makes an error, and you're buried into the door, that's going to be a big mistake.
I f***ed up. So I fixed everything that I needed to fix. I changed my trajectory a little bit because I hit that like infield zone properly. So when I went into the wall a little bit, it just kind of cost me some points. So we're gonna be right on the bubble. I'm hoping I'm making it in the show, but it's gonna be close. Retrospect, I need to just re-familiarize myself sooner with the way they judge here. Because one other interesting thing too is, as of right now, we are the fastest car by a long shot. Like my average speed is really high. My first run basically didn't touch the left foot brake at all, compared to a lot of other drivers that are heavy in the left foot brake, slowing the car down a lot, which makes it easier to put in zones, but in FD we'd be penalized heavy for that. Here a lot of those drivers are scoring the highest. So it's something that it's like, I guess more of a strategy thing, but I like to drive the same way I always drive, because like you drive out of your intuition rather than like logically. I feel like it's when I drive the best. It's not putting me in the best situation today, so we'll see. We'll the drum. I think we're sitting in like 30th place right now, and 33rd is where we get. So we made it in the show. We qualified, was it 29th, Ginge?
29.
And our first battle is going to be a good one. We could have wound up against some real heavy hitters, and I don't want to say we're not going up against a heavy hitter, but it's going to be a good battle. We've got a fair shot, and I'm stoked to go into it. Tonight, we're going to be celebrating by getting Indian food with our friends over at Night Ride downtown in Warsaw City Center. And I want to extend an apology to Indian Sizzler. I've recently found out that they do indeed watch my videos, and I don't want them to think that I'm cheating on them. But there's no Indian Sizzler here in Poland. So until there is, when in Poland, no Indian Sizzler. Day. Going into practice, not making huge changes with the car. Mike, what is that? That's a stick. Going into practice, made very small changes to the car, added a little bit of grip just because everyone else is going to. Other than that, got a couple things to clean up. We'll actually get some tandem practice today in the wildcard group that I had practice in before. Wasn't really the best idea to push too hard in the chase, but today we have to because we're gonna have a pretty tough first battle.
Alright guys, first chase of the day. We upped the nitro shot a little bit, so it may be a little bit not perfect, but we're gonna make it work. Time to clock in. I'm gonna treat this like this is a battle. Yeah, I can barely pulse the pedal behind him, Freddie. It was hiccuping quite a bit, so we're definitely gonna need a fuel adjustment. It's wide open. It's just in that transient, I can just feel it being super rich. Was that my fault, Ginge, or was he just slow as
Fun fact, I know I mentioned, I think, in the in-car that we were running more nitrous. We didn't have any bigger pills, so Freddie literally is such a G. He took a drill bit, drilled out the nitrous jet to get me approximately another 75 horsepower of, we'll call it pre-turbo power. And we were just basically dialing in the fueling throughout practice. It's always better to err on the side of richness because the link used to use adding fuel every time the nitrous sprays. It's better to err on the side of caution and then basically pull a little bit of fuel out each lap. It was pretty crisp towards the end. Unfortunately, it was kind of a perfect storm where Halovnia seemed like he was a little late to light off. I was diving in super hard because I got rolled in the last lap, had a little bit of a collision. Car seems like it's going to be fine, but I'm going into a very tough battle now with 2 laps of real tandem practice in this car this entire year. So I've got my work cut out for me. I'm going to be chasing first, so I got to find that balance of pushing hard but not pushing too hard at the same time.
Ziggy won't stay off the wall, Michael.
I know.
So I've called in reinforcements. But can't breathe.
Competition came by to shake our hand, but he really wanted to see what our bash bar looked like, and he saw that there's nothing there. He's like, oh cool, I can just like skim your bumper in transitions. But he doesn't know that we took a fence post and we put it there.
aggressive in the chase, so I need to do the same thing, try to clip bumpers on transitions, push it, get as close as I can. So we're chasing first, and we don't know how hard he's going to push, so gotta give it everything we got. I know what I gotta do. Gotta drive hard. I know what to do.
LZ finished on the 3rd step of the podium here in 2024. He'd love to replicate that once again, or maybe a step higher if he can. But Kevin Passeur, this means more to him. The young Estonian comes off the line, and Kevin Passeur wants to win, wants to get the battle done and claw more points and get himself that 3rd step in the championship as Passeur comes off the wall nice and early, dives across the track and picks up both inside zones. Adam LZ flicks that car into the door of that BMW 2 Series as they both fulfill outside zone 4, but it's shallow and off the wall for Kevin Passeur as he now comes across the circuit for outside zone 5. There's no shaking Adam's LZ as he goes for the front wheel. Both guys wobble as they go for outside zone 6. Outside zone 7 for Field, and LZ's on the back bumper.
Yeah, great run from both. To me, it felt like Passeur was trying to maybe outrun Adam through a few of the zones and getting that car hooked up really well and pushing through it, but trying to outrun a driver that is this quick is maybe not the best way to be able to go through this. So Passeur does a good job. Ooh, bit of a wall tap there that didn't really catch. You had mentioned him leaving the zone early, and that's more than likely why. Yeah, catching that wall, finding a bit more grip with it. You got to come off throttle just a touch, and that car will bite in and start to shoot off. But yeah, Adam not phased through any part of this and does a great job. So it's definitely a tough run from both drivers. So
I'm gonna shoot to do my nice clean lead. Don't forget about getting the inner clip 1. Other than that, I know what to do. All right, guys, let's have some fun. Fire? Yeah, I smell flames.
Around LZ now to lead out Kevin Passeur as they sit on the line ready to rock and roll. Spot in top 16 away. So look at that from Kevin Passeur. Jumps off the throttle. He knows he maybe made a mistake in outside zone 1. They fire through. Passeur goes for a straight line initiation and attack on the side of the Americans BMW E36 as they go door to door through that inside zone. And look at this. So Kevin Passeur, he has to almost back out of it. Takes the front bumper to the wall as they get into outside zone 4. Kevin Passeur does not want to back down, but Adam LZ is on an absolute flyer. Nice line into outside zone 5 from Adam LZ as he pulls some ground on Kevin Passeur. They get into outside zone 6. Passeur has to shortcut the circuit. He's shallow once again as LZ sets the tyre on fire across the line.
I think we were all waiting for that tire fire at some point. What a fast run from Adam LZ once again. Funny enough, one of his crew guys posted like, hey, we're the fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying, and that's not even the fastest setup we have. So he's got a bit more left in the tank, and I think we see a little bit more of that through these transitions, you know, pointing the nose at the wall with the BMW. He really picks up a lot of speed, and it makes Passeur kind of have to take a bit more of a straight line approach and have a big dive into that outside zone. So Adam LZ, this is absolutely business as usual. Look at a little bit of left foot brake here and there, just touching on it, but he's not dragging anywhere through that run. So very, very fast for Adam LZ. Kevin Passeur a little bit more on the back foot. And hopefully he's not too much in his head about, you know, the third place part.
To Kevin Passeur, and these guys always having fun. Starting left for Passeur, right for Adam LZ, and it's going to be one vote for LZ. It's going to be Adam LZ taking the win and advancing through to the top 16, and Kevin Passeur not too happy with the decision, but he knows what it means for the championship fight in third place. That could have a detrimental effect on his championship.
I'm stoked. I pulled this together when it counted. I was pretty happy with my chase. I got left a little bit leaving one, and I haven't watched back the run yet to see if he left the zone earlier or if I just wasn't ready for it. Everywhere else though, I'm happy. I did exactly what I wanted to do. I got my snaps a little bit more aggressive. I didn't overcook it on entry. And then my lead felt pretty much perfect, minus the tire catching on fire and losing a little bit of grip. Overall, I'm happy. I haven't watched it, but I'm assuming I probably won it because I matched his angle maybe a little bit better. We saw that in some of his practice runs, he was cutting line or like a little bit shallower to keep proximity, which is, I wouldn't say an easier thing to do, but it's usually frowned upon by the judges. And one thing that usually works out well for me, but has also bit me in the ass, is it's so ingrained in me because of FD to always match angle and sacrifice a little bit of proximity. And maybe that's why I got the win, but I'm gonna watch the video back now.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Y'all are getting into this, huh?
We don't want it. When he's in the box, it hits it. When you handbrake, it like
Yeah, there's
nothing to hold
Yeah,
it.
it just gets sucked in.
There's nothing to hold it up.
No!
Okay.
I was gonna put this on Stinky.
It's okay.
I did that.
This is not going back
I did
to
that.
America.
That was
Next battle, one at a time. I know what to do. A couple things to clean up. Overall though, just gotta do the thing. Alright, Ginger warned me he's got a big manji. I'm gonna play it safe on entry. Still stay with him, and then I gotta remember to leave out of zone 1, because last time it was a little bit of perfect storm. I gotta stay alert, look for that inner even when I'm on the pocket. He had some huge bobbles in his lead. It made it very difficult to chase. Was it visible from the outside?
And here we go, back on the line we go to France's very own finest drifter. It is Jason Benet to lead out Adam LZ. Jason Benet, the higher qualifier, sits in that lead position. Look at the angle that LZ has put into that BMW. He is ready for this. He's hunting him down already.
Yeah, and he's got the wheels slightly to the right as well, so I think he's wanting to get right into the pocket right away. His chase on this initiation might be a little bit crazy. More of a stylistic flair than we've ever seen.
Yeah, he certainly has. Well, they're off the line and ready to go. LZ on the podium here in 2024. He'd love to do it again as they fire in. Nice initiation from both guys. LZ goes wider than Jason Benet, but look at this. Jason Benet opens up the throttle and he's got some grip dialed into that Subaru BRZ as they fire into outside zone 4. Adam LZ goes for the front wheel, but look at the pace in that Subaru BRZ, but he's shallow on outside zone 4. Benet trying to escape the grip of Adam LZ right now as the American goes for it. Shallows off the angle, puts the wheel towards the door. They fire through outside zone 7 and across the line.
Just another epic battle right off the go here. Adam, he was very aggressive, and it looked like he was reacting a lot to the corrections from Benet in the lead. So I was expecting Adam to be maybe a bit more aggressive on the run-up, but I think he kind of spotted what Benet was up to. He wasn't all the way out to that zone right off the bat, but then gets it sunk in. And then for Adam, you can tell he wants to get in a little bit closer, but a bit hesitant as Benet having a couple of little corrections here or there. So Adam knowing when to strike, when to close that proximity, making sure that Benet is settled within the zone first before he starts to close it in. But a great transition through 5, and both these drivers once again looking on form.
All right, my lead run, just gotta focus on hitting my marks. I know what to do. I was really happy with my last run, so just gotta do it again. Whose fault was that, Ginge? I feel like I waited to the proper point, did I not?
Well, here we go, car slam into gear. Looks like they're ready to go. They get the green light. The LZ to lead out Jason Benet. A spot in the top 8 awaits for one of these drivers. Here we go. Oh! Contact before initiation.
Okay.
Wow.
So what all happened there? Now, 2 possible scenarios. Either Benet got too aggressive, or Adam slowed down or potentially even shut down, and that's what created it. So we're gonna have to see here as the judges already checking those replays.
Well, we're gonna see it right now on the replay. Here we go, come off the line.
Oh! So Adam's able to keep the grip in the car to make the apex of that corner. Benet starts to come in to follow suit, but it looks like Adam's car is able to maintain the grip, didn't float it back out. Maybe Jason was hoping he would start to flick the car out wide. Either way, it doesn't matter because the chaser, Adam looks over the camera like, what was that?
He thought that, he's already thrown his hands up. And I mean, look, from first glance where I'm sitting, Jacob, it does look like Benego's just super aggressive.
Yeah, so thankfully the judges have given me the ability to look through the data pack as well, so I'll be able to try and report back in on as the judges now starting to converse a little bit more about what the final decision is going to be.
Yes, so there we go, both guys out of the car, no hard feelings.
Put everything into it to make sure that it was.
Well, here we go, decisions in, left for Benet, right for Adam LZ, it's one vote for LZ. And it's Adam LZ getting the win, and he says to Jason Benet, I'm sorry, man. David Kalash, just quickly, it came down to a judging decision there.
Yeah, we just needed to check the starting procedure. We were checking if Adam LZ did slow down or did not slow down. Based on our data, he did not slow down at all. It was like borderline. He was quite on the left side. That's why it took us so long. But at the end, we find out that there was like no major issue with Adam LZ's run. So the mistake is on Jason.
Congrats, dude.
Not the way I want to win.
I know. Beat. Let's go.
Go to
That was
surgery
crazy.
school with all these stitches you're putting in. This
Rear
is
ended me.
great.
Boom. Brian, is it gonna hit the tire? We're gonna cut it if it does.
Dude, what do you think of this place?
Nuts. It is insane. If you guys ever get the chance to come to this event, just do it.
It's worth it. I've never been to Europe before, and I'm mad I didn't come last year because it's pretty insane.
Sean's the type of person you guys know. So the fact that he said that,
It's worth the trip. For
this
sure.
sick.
All right, our next run's up against Polish Powell. I've driven with him before. He's fast. He's super straight up. Doesn't do any weird stuff. I'm really excited to chase him because I can push it hard. I know that his car's gonna be fast, so no room for compromises. But I'm excited. I'm gonna have some fun on this one. Remember to look for that first zone. Weird, I felt like I lost power steering for some reason, but I didn't. And then I felt like I hit a loose spot coming out of the wall. Definitely wasn't a great chase, but it's like I hit a loose spot before the infield. I almost got rolled there.
It certainly is. Well, here we go. Back on the line we go. Two men that both have been on the podium in third spot in this stadium. Pavel Korpolinski did it in 2023. Adam LZ did it in 2024. One of these guys now will have the opportunity to get into that final four, to battle for a spot in the podium, on the podium. Who will it be?
I feel like Adam has been adopted by this country.
He certainly has. He has Polish roots, we know that. Well, will the Polish roots shine through, or will the true Polishman, the hometown hero from Warsaw, reign supreme as they come off the line? It is Pavel Korpolinski to lead them out. They both go for an aggressive initiation. Korpolinski straight into it, and he knows that LZ's fast. He's turned that car up to 100 right now. They fire through the middle of the circuit. Look at Korpolinski bathing smoke from the back of that car as they get into outside zone 4. LZ tries to hang with him. He tries to dial on the angle, flicks into more angle, and it's a mistake from LZ as he has to shortcut through the center of the circuit. Korpolinski gets into outside zone 6, but he keeps it off the wall. It's clean, it's surgical from the surgeon as he puts it across the line.
The difference between a good drifter and a great drifter is knowing what to do when there is a mistake. And Adam does have a big bobble in it, but he does such a great job at getting back into the fight without overshooting anything, without making it super apparent. Now, the keen eyes of the judges, ourselves and a lot of the fans at home caught it pretty quick, but he does an amazing job of getting back in this fight. Korpolinski back on it is solid line. I mean, very precise all the way through every section of this run. And Adam LZ he's on it. There's so much pace in this car. There's so much speed, and his aggression is coming out, but overcooks it just a little bit. Has to add a bit more angle to kind of back out at the last section, but then uses the transitioning point to be able to get back into the battle. And you can even see it from this angle. Look at that dive right into the side of Korpolinski, and is able to hold on to that chase and that proximity through the rest of this run. So
I just gotta go do the same lead. Nothing fancy, my car's fast enough. I don't need to run away. Freddie, I had a fuel pressure low warning the whole run. Kind of distracted me, but I also made some mistakes on my own. Definitely sloppy lead. I don't think we got the win.
Hold off 10%, or will he know that this means more than to hold off? And they go for it, they creep off the line. LZ to lead out Pavel Korpolinski for a spot in the final four, awaits for one of these drivers. They fire into that first outside zone. LZ into the wall, takes the back end off the car, and a groan from the judges erupts as he disposes of the back end of that car on inside zone 3. Korpolinski does hold back, now starts to rein him in. He knows that LZ's made a few mistakes. He can see the errors creeping in, and Korpolinski's just going to stamp all 40 on it right at the end of the run. They get into outside zone 6. There's a tag on the wall from LZ, and Korpolinski holds back once again as he jumps onto the back bumper across the line.
Adam going for it. He feels the weight of the mistake and just goes, okay, well, you know what? This car's sat for almost a year. It can sit a little bit longer if it has to. I'm just going to go for it and throw this car in as hard as I possibly can, and it makes for such a great show. Korpolinski holding back just a little bit through a lot of these zones, then gets to the point where Adam made his mistake previously and goes back into it. Adam trying to do a bit of a weight reduction midway through this run, and there's Korpolinski now getting into the side of him after that transition point. Adam completely locked in with those small adjustments to the wheel while the Polishman is right there hunting him down. Very, very tense. And look at getting the crowd going. Getting the crowd going. So not entirely sure what judges scrubbing back through.
Look at this, the white and red flags being held out to make the Polish flag around the stadium. Wow. Incredible scenes. Here we go, they slide him left for Korpolinski, right for Adam LZ. It's one vote for Korpolinski. It's Pavel Korpolinski taking the win and advancing through to the final four. And that is one happy Polish man.
So well deserved. His consistency has gotten him to this point and has led him to so many amazing, amazing events. And now he will have his work cut out for him in that top four. But for right now, bask in the glory of taking out Adam LZ, who is always welcome back at Driftmasters, and maybe one day someone will talk him back into getting back over here for a full season.
On review, I lost. You guys already know that. That wasn't a doubt or anything. On my chase, I just watched back. It's better than it feels like in the car. I was like, God, that was awful. I think that there was a section where I was a little bit deeper than him, leaving the second corner, coming into that like infield thing, and I must have gotten in the marbles or something, because like for whatever reason it just felt like I was on ice for a second. I felt like it was game over from there. In retrospect, I probably could have won if I didn't go so hard in my lead. I thought it was at a huge disadvantage, so I pushed it a little bit too spicy on entry, had to use the wall to slow myself down, and then I did the same thing in the last corner again because I heard him on my door, and I was just trying to like give every ounce of throttle I could at every single part of track to hope to establish somewhat of a gap, but his car's fast and it just wound up me because I crashed when I probably just should have done a clean lead. So you live and you learn. I probably should have listened to Jane, and Jane said to just do a normal lead, but I tried to be extra spicy and it was too spicy, and now I ain't got no milk. That's for now. That's it. final closing words. I feel like it's gotten to the point, I've said this many times, where it's crazy that we're like dissatisfied when we've gotten into top 8 and arguably one of the hardest drift comps in the world. And we did it with a car that hadn't been running in years. I have to give a massive thank you and shout out to the boys who turned around a car that hadn't been driven in a year in one day and made us had 0 mechanical issues and was the fastest car on grid. Pretty freaking cool. And thinking back at that, like, I'm super grateful to have the support of so many amazing people, including you guys, and to be able to do this. And these are just my thoughts as we scooter into the depths of Poland. Maybe the video will continue from here, maybe it won't. We'll find out.